Good afternoon and welcome to a peek under the hood of the new ClickLearn. My name is Joachim Schiermarker and I'm the CEO of ClickLearn, and I'm joined here today in this session by Mads Fors. He's our user experience architect behind the new ClickLearn, and our CTO, Michael Olsen. So UX12 is the James Bond-like codename we're using for the new version, and it's by far the most important release of ClickLearn ever. Not only does it deliver over 200 new features, but it's also an entirely new way of organizing the work around ClickLearn content in a team and project-oriented way. So our focus in the entire design phase has been to create the easiest user experience inside the application, provide built-in guidance, and a full online training and certification proposition inside the application as well. So we are going to do two things today. We'll bring in Mads to deliver some insights into how we have designed the new ClickLearn. And then secondly, Michael has asked us to run a demo, and he's doing a demo on alpha software, which is, the worst nightmare for any CEO. So we are absolutely safe on that. We still have another 6 months to go before we're ready to launch. But I think that for now, we'll leave the floor to Mads to give us a little bit of an idea of how we are designing the new ClickLearn. Mads?
All right, thank you, Joachim. So as mentioned, my name is Mads Fors, and I'm the user experience specialist here at ClickLearn. We're thrilled to show you a sneak peek of what's under the hood of the new ClickLearn. In the upcoming version of ClickLearn, we are adding a whole new way of creating and maintaining learning materials. So 9 months ago, we started the project with the codename UX12. Our goal was to completely redesign ClickLearn with a clean and minimal interface to be an even better tool for documenting your work. So we've meticulously gone through every feature of our product and reshaped it with ease of use and productivity in mind. This means that every operation inside ClickLearn has been split down to its essential features and built up anew to create what we think is an awesome user experience. All right, so what is new? First of all, we are introducing a brand new way of structuring your work in ClickLearn. In the new ClickLearn, your work has its home in projects. A project allows you to have multiple spaces with a unique structure or a unique team setup and even unique settings. So this project-based structure provides a new and improved overview of your work, highlighting latest activity and guides you towards a complete and up-to-date learning portal. All right, furthermore, we have redesigned the ClickLearn editor from ground up. We are providing you with a brand new editing experience that's tailor-made to the type of content that you're working on. This means that the editor will adapt and adjust to follow the content that you are editing. For instance, in the video editor, you will see a timeline working with your video content, and in the assist editor, you will see in-app guidance. So one of our main goals of redesigning ClickLearn has been to create an application that guides the user through and even the most complex processes it can be to create documentation. And to do so, we have added built-in assistance inside the ClickLearn application. The ClickLearn Assist, and we have done a lot of work of implementing him in a new way into the ClickLearn Studio. The ClickLearn Assist will provide intelligent guidance that fits his guidance to your level. So if you're a new user of ClickLearn, you will have a certain kind of information or guidance. And if you're an advanced user of ClickLearn, you will have another style of guidance. And this enables you to learn and eventually master all the features of the ClickLearn Studio. As Joachim mentioned, there are so many new features and new improvements coming to the ClickLearn Studio this fall. And we are super excited to show you more of the work that we've done. But instead of just showing you screenshots, I think now is the time to give the stage to Michael, who will do a live preview of an alpha version of the new ClickLearn Studio. Michael?
Thank you so much, Mads. So I will share my screen. So give me just a second. Now everyone should be able to see my screen. So I will basically take you to the step where we look at the UX12 running live here. I will start the application. Then I will give you a couple of examples on how it is that we think that you should work with the new project types that are available. So when we start up ClickLearn Studio, you will basically see your project screen. I've prepared two. So I have a ClickLearn learning portal that I have basically automatically transformed from the current version of ClickLearn to the UX12. The Get Smarter 2020 I have created from ground up with the version here. And just to give you an idea without going through the entire process, I'll just click on the plus sign here. That will give you an example on how to create a new project. So some of the things that you know from the current version of ClickLearn, like books and shelves, completely goes away. We create projects, a content project that eventually becomes a published learning portal. Inside help for your customer engagement or Business Central, whatever kind of application that we're talking about there, or for the more technical part, the automated process testing. So we can choose the project type, and then we will be guided through the different settings that we would like you to provide to set up the right project for you. So I've done this already, so I'll just stop this and go into the Get Smarter 2020 portal. So when we come into the project itself, you will find that it holds its own list of recordings. Now, compared to the current version, this now allows you to focus only on the recordings inside this project. You can even divide them into folders here. So you have a folder structure for different areas where you want to save the recordings. This makes it more easy for the authors to actually look around in only the things that are relevant to the project itself. You can search, you can go and preview directly from this list here. So instead of just having to go into the editor, you can now just go into a preview of that recording. Now, Mads mentioned in terms of all the new features that comes into the product, but some will also seem very familiar. So if we go in and edit the recording here, we will have an editor like you know it from the current version. It will look different. It's much more clean and nice looking. Some of the functionality are more apparent to the user. So we have all the different roles that we can work with up here. And we of course have the preview as all know it today. But as soon as we go into the different steps to edit that, you will find that every single dialog has been modified to apply to the new UX12 design. It will become more easy and there will be new functionality available on different levels. As an example, on a note here, you will find something that has been requested a lot of times in the current version is the ability to actually format your text when you create the notes. So now you have a formatting control that allows you to work with this very easily. Now, I said that both books and shelves goes away. So what about building up the learning portal itself? Well, this comes into the new section called structure. Now, within structure, you will find a much more user-friendly way of building up the portal. And it includes a lot of new functionality. You can insert headings, you can insert text, hyperlinks to external content, dividers, and sections. Now, sections are comparable to what we know as books today, but now you can do it in as many levels as you would like. So in this structure example that I've done here, I want a heading, then I want some description for the user. Then I have a section for Microsoft where I have a number of Microsoft Teams recordings that I want in the learning portal. The next section is for Dynamics 365. I've split that into customer engagement, finance and operations, and business central. And within those, I have a number of recordings. At the end of my learning portal here, I've put in a divider, a heading for external content, and then 2 hyperlinks that goes to a website and a YouTube video. So books and shelves goes away. We now get a new structure way of displaying things. Now, the produce button also goes away. This means every time you work as an author, it will be done on the fly. And this not only goes for the recordings as you saw before, it also goes for the entire structure here. So as soon as we click on the preview here, we will get the production of the learning portal instantly. You can completely navigate through this. And if we go into customer engagement, go into a recording, it will produce the preview of that recording on the fly. It will even do so if I choose to go and look at the show me video or download the PDF. So it's much more fluent to work with in this case. And for some of the new things is of course the external content. So we can link to external websites as an example. It could also just be a PDF that you want people to be able to download. It has not been created by ClickLearn, but it's something that you have alongside the ClickLearn content. And if we take to embed that into the learning portal here, it could be, as an example, a YouTube video that you want to play as well. So this is a quick run through of some of the features, how it looks and feels when you operate inside the system here. So I hope that you enjoyed the sneak preview of UX 12.
All right, I think we're going to open up for questions. I hope there are a ton of questions out there. So please feel free to ask in the chat. We'll be happy to answer as much as we have time for. All right, so first question, do we know what the transition process or timeline will look like? I'm imagining that we're asking for an upgrade path in terms of the UX 12. Maybe you can cover a little bit about that, Michael?
Yes, of course. So as I mentioned a little bit in the beginning, for example, our ClickLearn learning portal here, this is from the current version, a shelf. The recordings are completely aligned to the UX 12, so they can be opened as they are. Books and shelves will be converted automatically. So if I choose to import some current ClickLearn content into the UX 12, it will basically be transformed into the new project structure. So as you can see here, it has actually taken all of my books that I have into the recording structure. So it has done subfolders for that. Within the product documentation, it now has all of the recordings inside that book placed in the right location. If I go to the structure parts, you will find that the entire book structure has been aligned. The icons that I may have selected in my current content is also aligned inside of this. So the transformation should be very easy from the current version to UX 12.
Right, so there's a question here that asks, is this a browser app or a Windows client?
Yeah, it is a Windows client. So we are still maintaining the way of working with ClickLearn Studio as a Windows client, both as a ClickOnce application or as an MSI installation.
All right, then there's one question which I can probably answer is when will it be available? It'll be available on the 2nd of October. That is Gandhi's birthday. It just so happens that it actually is my birthday as well. but that's another matter. But that's the release date for the product. There's also a question for you, Michael. How will you manage the version control? Can you speak a little bit about, the version control? This particular customer is using GitHub. We are not using GitHub, but we absolutely have version control.
Yeah. So you will have two options for the UX12. One where you choose to run local storage, as many of our authors are doing today. So you have your own local storage, or you can choose to use the ClickLearn cloud storage. Once you run the ClickLearn cloud storage, you will have automated versioning on everything inside that environment. That means every time you do a change and save a recording, it will automatically be versioned, major and minor in this case. It also goes for the published content as well.
All right, one last question, and I'm going to refer the remainder of you to the hub, where we'll be happy to answer all the questions that you have. But someone is asking, is this a free upgrade or an automatic upgrade, or does it cost extra? And I can probably answer that. It's a free upgrade for everyone on maintenance and all of our subscription customers. That's about all we have time for. I'm sorry, we have to close this session. We'll be happy to take questions in the hub. Please go for the hub and ask your questions there. We'll be happy to answer every question you may have. Thank you so much for joining.